Okay, on this table, remember, you can build up or break down from any set. You don't have to go from the one above it. So I wanted to take a second to go over these because this is on your Khan Academies that you're working on today. So it said in a previous lesson, we worked with a diagram and a double number line that represent this cookie recipe. Here is a table that represents the same situation. Write a sentence that describes a ratio in the table. We need a sentence. Brody? Okay, just leave it. A sentence. Kendall? Okay, for every 5 cups of flour, you need 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Works. You could have said, for every 15 cups of flour, you need 6 teaspoons of vanilla. You could have said that reversed order, but it asked for a sentence. Number 2 asked what the second row of numbers represented, and I was nice. That's the second row. Row 1, row 2. Some people explained the other rows. But what does that row mean? And it's not 15 to 6. That's a ratio. That's not what this row means. Cam?
It's amount for 3 batches.
Yeah, okay. You could have said it's how much for 3 batches, because if this is 1 batch times 3 times 3. So if you said it represents 3 batches of the recipe, that works. What else? Who said something different and I gave it to you? Specifically, what does that row mean? Emmett?
I just said 15.
And you probably lost some points, right? Okay, but what does 15 to 6 mean? 15 what? 6 what?
15 cups of flour to 6 vanilla.
Yeah, that means if you use 15 cups of flour, you would need 6 teaspoons of vanilla. So that also worked for that one. Now, the bottom asked you to come up with any other one. Remember, keep it simple. Some people tried to build this one up. Why is that not the easiest one to build up, Maya? Because it's a mixed number. We should know how to multiply mixed numbers, change them to improper first. But I would say half of the people that tried to build that one up missed it because they messed up on their math, which tells me we need more mixed numbers multiplication. But build up any of the other ones. A lot of people built up that one because it's an easier one to work with. Okay? Finley, you have a question? No. No? Okay, the other one I wanted to talk about is the bagel problem. It's on the back. A shop sells bagels for $5 per dozen. You can use the table to answer the questions. Explain your reasoning. Now, it says, at this rate, how much would 6 bagels cost? Lost my marker. Nope, there it is. It one is working. Okay, so if I'm looking for 6 bagels, can I easily get to 6 bagels from the given information?
Yeah,
By doing what, Dom?
by dividing 12 by 2.
Okay, so if I divide by 2, it gets me there. So then I have to take 5 divided by 2. If I write that as a fraction, it's 5 halves. Sometimes that's okay. Is that a good price? It costs 5 halves dollars. No. Canaan, what is that as a mixed number?
Mixed number?
Or we could divide it out. That gives us our mix. So divide by 5. Canaan, how many times does 2 go into 5? 2. What's left over?
1.
So what is my mixed number?
2 and 1 1/2.
2.5. $2.50 sounds okay, but how much money is that, Finley?
$2.50.
Yeah, it's $2.50. Now the next one said, how many bagels can you buy for $50? So now we're talking about dollars. Can we easily build $2.50 up to 50?
Yes.
Not really. Can we build 5 up to 50?
Yes.
Times 10? What's 12 times 10? 120 bagels. Okay, what I've noticed, some of you that are missing them, you're just doing long division, which in a lot of these, well, in all of them, we either have to divide or multiply to get these different ratios. What will help you organize your information? How do we organize these numbers? What did they give us on this problem to organize it? Brant?
Table.
A table. If they don't give us a table, what could we use? Kendall? We could use a double number line. We could use equivalent ratios. We could create a table. On the next one, a lot of you guys were on the right track. You just didn't finish. This one told us the bicyclist goes 380 meters in 20 seconds. And it asks, at that rate, how far does he go in 3 seconds? Can I easily mentally get from 20 to 3?
Yes.
No. There's not a whole number out there that if you take 20 divided by a whole number, you would get 3. So what do I suggest? If you can't get directly there, where do we go first, Parker? To 1 second. Because if we can get something to 1, we can build it up to anything else. So we kind of skip over where we need to go to make it easier. Avery, how do I get from 20 to 1? Divide by 20. Now, a lot of people messed up on this math also. I'm hoping it's because you were rushing. 38 divided by 20. 20 goes into 38 once. 2 goes into 18 9 times, and the zeros would just cancel. So that's 19 per second. A lot of people gave me 19 as my final answer because you just did long division. You didn't have a table or a ratio to set it up. Now, how do we finish this, Brant? Multiply it by 3, because if I know 1 second to go from there to there, it's times 3. Times 3, so 57. Now, if you had that, I still took off some points. Why? If you just have that. Kendall? You don't have an answer.
That's just
What is my answer? Because that's a lot of different numbers. Which one is important, Parker?
I put he ran 57 meters in 3 seconds.
Yes, so the 57 meters was the important part.
yes. Yes.
Okay, now I'm going to do one more problem that I think will help you on your Khan Academies today. Just something I'm noticing, and I mentioned it Friday, but you guys were all logging in, and once you start opening your computers, you quit listening. Oh, darn it, it went away. I'll just make another one up. So, on some of them, in the tables, I'm going to do... Okay, it doesn't even really matter what the labels are. When we look at this and we're trying to fill in those empty boxes, you start with the one that you know, 7 to 4. Can I easily get from 4 to 6?
Yes.
No? Can I easily get from 4 to 3? So what is my suggestion, Briley? Yeah, finding 1, because if I can find a 1, can I build it up to 3 and 6? Yes. How do we get from 4 to 1?
Divided by 4.
Divided by 4. On this side, how do we get from 7 to that empty spot?
Divided by 4.
Divided by 4. Now, is this box an important answer?
No.
No. So do I have to give a nice, pretty number there? What is 7 divided by 4 with no math involved? Kendall? 7 over 4. Leave it like that for a second, because if I have to multiply it by something, isn't it easier to multiply by that if it's already improper?
Yes.
Okay. Lori, how do we get from 1 to 6?
Times 6.
Times 6. So what am I going to have to do on the other side?
Times 6.
Yeah, I'm going to have to take 7/4 times 6. Now, someone said, how do I type fractions into the calculator? On IAR, you don't have a fraction bar.
You have to figure it out.
Okay? I'm allowing you to use a calculator, but we should still know how to do 7/4 times 6. 7 times 6 is 42 times... Now, what could I type into my calculator now? Kendall? 42 divided by 4, which would give us like 10 and a half, I think. Is that right?
Yes.
Type it in on our 42 divided by 4, 10.5, okay? So we could write 10.5 or 10 and a half. And that's what we would type into that box. How do I get from here to here?
Times 3.
Times 3. So can I do 7/4 times 3?
Yes.
Yes. Okay? So you have some on your Khan Academies that your multiplier, this thing, isn't a pretty number, but that's okay. Just leave it as an improper fraction or leave it as a proper fraction. It's okay if that's a fraction. You don't want to divide it out and get an ugly decimal. Okay? Okay, so in just a second, you're going to grab a Chromebook. You have the rest of the class period today to work on these. If you don't finish, this is your homework and it's due tomorrow. Okay? Questions? No. It's due tomorrow. I won't see you tomorrow.
Why?
Because you don't have math tomorrow.